Seriously, I think that's one of the best inventions, best variations of 21st century art right there.
Yeah.
It's just how far that's progressed. Yeah, because I grew up a lot of 90s stuff, and I don't know, now I'm just really taking in the rich value of just how calming a lot of these 21st century games are. I mean, like slow paced and epic and truly building up to the chaotic moments.
Yeah, they treat it. I really do. I mean, most games now really treat themselves as like a movie, and that you're, or a TV show or something. Just as far as like taking their time to build like a narrative with characters and plots and an epic like quest, an epic journey, and it's really cool to see like how far narrative storytelling in video games have progressed. I feel like at one time in my life I used to see video games kind of have almost kind of like a straightforward, thing, objective, I guess.
Kind of jump right into it.
Yeah, and like it's like it's like, oh, you're gonna go get that bad guy, so you have to go through different levels to get to the bad guy, essentially. But now it's like they just kind of come up with like this really intricate, like technical, like super like intense narrative, and how they just intertwine it all. It's like really epic. It's really cool.
Sincerely, dude. No, I really am stunned because I'm playing through the first Red Dead Redemption right now, and right now is probably my favorite game of all time. I'd say right now.
Yeah, man, you're finally on the wagon.
Yeah, bro, I'm finally on the wagon, bro. It's just got a gaze about it. I can't I know it gets intense, it gets insane, but so far it's been really a soothing kind of stargazing kind of game. Like on the ranch, just following characters, going to different places, meeting just different characters. Just take it in. Yeah, I love this. I love the gameplay.
Like, I guess how familiar are you with RPGs in general, like role playing games?
A handful. I've mostly played them in the Mario since I would say there's way more I need to venture into. I'm particularly interested in Final Fantasy, although I've never ventured into that. But I'd say it doesn't go past Mario.
Yeah.
Really. I think Paper Mario games are really where I got the RPG down.
Yeah, Final Fantasy is a series that I've always wanted to dive into. I've played I think it was like Final Fantasy Tactics, like when I was a kid, but I really want to play I think it's like Final Fantasy 10 or Final Fantasy 12 or something like that. I don't know. There's one that came out on PlayStation 2 that I remember that, and I've been looking at that one, and it's like they did a remaster of it, and that one looks pretty epic. But that series in general is very like I'm intrigued by. I just don't know where to start and what to do, on that. But yeah, in general, the RPGs is like been a big draw for me as a gamer. Like I really love creating a character, like in leveling that character up throughout the world and making him a very specific type of character, to the story. So yeah, that's cool. I mean, so Red Dead is like it's pretty good as far as like a sandbox RPG. It's like you have a lot to do, a lot to see, you can go fuck off for hours instead of playing the actual story.
It's very inviting in that sense. I think I can like fuck off, and then I think eventually I'm going to stir up this desire for chaos in there. So it's it has to inevitably happen in the gaming. So it's like, well, you can just kind of go at your own pace with that game. That's uniquely inviting, I think, for in a lot of ways. For what I'm seeing in all this.
That's what like the new Legend of Zeldas are like. Like they kind of just throw you in, and they don't tell you. They don't force like tutorial and instructions and things to do on you. You just kind of get to do it at your own pace and make your own mistakes and like, travel and, do whatever you want to do. And that's what's cool about Red Dead. But
seriously,
yeah, I'm glad you got to. You're like trying it out.
Yeah, I'm really trying it out right now. Yeah, no, I'm gonna deep dive most definitely throughout these next few months and really get deep into it because it reminds me a lot of like watching my favorite neo-Western movies, big time. It hits a lot of similar notes, I would say, in a lot of ways right now. Just visually speaking, thinking like There'll Be Blood, No Country for Old Men, Treasure This Year, Madre, Unforgiven. Like it's just a bunch of movies just keep flashing. I was like, wow, this really feels like similar in tone. And I'm sure they were drawing a lot of influence because it was released in 2010. So I think that's right when we definitely had a bit of a neo-Western revival in general. I think that's really kind of taken over the world in a lot of ways in this 21st century era. And I think gaming, I'm seeing that element strongly. I think that's what's strongly resonating with this gaming surge is just almost taking in that Western element. I don't know. It's like finding an identity and all that in a way. Mm-hmm. Just being the character, just kind of and you just having your free range to do what you want with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I need to watch more Western movies.
Oh, bro, Westerns are awesome. And I'm with you, man. Westerns are like, I think neo-Westerns are what got me into Westerns. I was never really a John Wayne kind of fan growing up, although I do kind of like the searches now for how much influence Robert De Niro in Taxi Driver, because it's a very lonely, kind of like just kind of sort of character in every sense. But I'm more and more open to Westerns with age, I think. I think all Westerns, really, because there's an aesthetic value, firstly, I think that really hits. It's like they're usually just really atmospheric in the directing. And then usually they're really deep in the characters and like morality tales in a lot of ways. Like a lot of good and evil. Like you can really get pure with that in a very small town kind of aesthetic with the genre. And I think I just think it's some of the best cinema. It makes it one of the most timeless cinema of all time. You can really get dark and gritty with it. And yeah, in a big way. As we know, with like Film Like There'll Be Blood is an example. That's one of the first movies. I think that's the first movie we ever watched together, I think.
Oh, I think it was. Yeah. Oh, wow.
That's a crazy movie.
That is a crazy
That's
movie.
A uniquely crazy movie that I might have seen that more than any other movie in history, honestly, 'cause it's so groundbreaking. I think that's why Red Dead
I haven't
resonates.
seen it since.
Right on, bro.
I need to watch it.
Bro, it's one that fits differently every single time you rewatch it, no matter what, basically. But it's very just a bunch of complex, sort of like a man wrestling with antisocial tendencies, really going off the rails. And I'm like, maybe kind of like Red Dead Redemption almost seems like a very light, like a similar kind of note in a lot of ways. And it's kind of, but There'll Be Blood kind of hits in this note where antisocial tendencies just get loose, and it's like he kind of just he has a thing he's great at, but then he has this other side to him that's just too chaotic for this universe practically. So it's like he really takes it out on just like someone who's kind of like he's the kind of like a religious fraud type. So it ends up just being a really intense battle basically, and with no good end basically. It's the darkest movie Paul Thomas Anderson's made. I think it remains his darkest work.
Oh yeah,
in every sense of the word. That's genuinely very gritty, and it's really slow paced. How you kind of just get to see this guy. Because I think his most charismatic moments are in the early parts of the film when he's not talking much, like he's just seriously working on his project.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, because I remember like bits and pieces of it. Like I think wasn't he like in the beginning? You kind of see how he kind of got to the position he's in, or he ends up being, and because he's working in it and stuff like that. And then he finds like a love or passion for it, or something like a fascination.
He gets fascinated.
Like and greedy approach to the whole thing. So that he kind of
kicks in.
I do remember like just. I guess big moments. I just remember the one with his son, and I was like, "Oh, that one was like really hard to watch."
That is tough.
Like, yeah,
it's
man.
almost like he needs it. Like he needs him almost like for show, 100%. But then it's like in there, it's like he finds out how much he actually loves him and cares about him. But it's so complex, and he kind of has an antisocial way of going about it ultimately, which is just it's very intense how he goes about it.
Yeah, I remember being intense. I was like, "Woof, that was a heavy movie."
It is extremely heavy, and that's another one.
It's so good though. Yeah,
it's so perfect, man. No, it always hits all the right notes, and it feels like it's just a very like intentionally very melancholic kind of movie to make. Like I think Paul Thomas Anderson's photography usually like about characters seeking acceptance and needing to be loved, and it's this is like almost a raw portrait of someone who doesn't really find that. It's like he has a lot of genius elements about him, a lot of amazing things about his walk, but he never really just finds him. He never really settles down once in the whole movie. He's always in a chaotic mood, basically, like to an extreme extent. And again, he just takes it out on other people. Like it's like you can kind of see where it's like, oh man, he had a good thing going, but then it's just it was just too much of a psychopath. Like I think that's really an arc of a raw psychopath at display in a sense. It's an insane movie.
Yeah, well, now you can be a insane cowboy in Red Dead.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm seeing. And I was like, well, let's just evolve all this, man. This is what to do with the Daniel Plainview energy. Because that's again, it gets crazy. There's a level that's too insane. It's meant to be, I think, super resonating for like a lot of film, the film side in a lot of ways, like the dark side.
I've been feeling some dark. Like movies I want to watch this month. Like I'm kind of in like a gritty mood or something like that. Oh yeah,
January brings
based
it
off of your recommendation from the last episode, I watched Menace to Society the very next day.
Brother.
Yeah, brother, you definitely didn't play that.
I should have given that way more. I should have given you more warning. And that's part of where I got a nihilistic issue, man. Because I think Played Ultimate Doom got me too nihilistic. I was like, I talk about a movie like that released the same time as that game, and that's too violent. That's too much violence.
It's a very violent.
That's
movie.
too dark.
Oh,
yeah,
it's very.
I thought about it. I felt the sensitivity kick in next level after we talked about that.
Yeah,
that's another reason why movie gets better with age.
It was a great movie. It was really good, but
it's a lot.
Man, it's a lot to take in. It's kind of like
it's like a '90s kind of thing where it's like it's amazing, but man, it's like you almost have to carry it with you everywhere you go. Almost, you kind of can't shake it off for a while, and sometimes there's a level of disturbing where it's like, geez, that's actually so cringy.
Well,
I don't know. It kind of shaked me up in a way.
Yeah, me and Wendy were talking about it. I was just like, oh man, it's a good movie, but it made me feel very weird and off and like sad afterward, like kind of depressed after that, because I'm like, oh, that's kind of fascinating to think that really is like a perspective that a day-to-day like life that can be happening right now.
Exactly.
Like, that's so like surreal to think about, and it's just kind of really left me very like depressed. I was like,
It's depressing. That's
it's
art.
very heavy. So,
Early 90s art, brother. I think that's where the 90s, like of all mid and late 90s it got. Again, there definitely had to be like a more uplifting way of perceiving all that depression. A lot of that didn't really give you a light end of the tunnel.
Well, then I felt conflicted too about the main character, that narrates the whole thing.
It's complex.
Because it's like, well, I have empathy for him, but he was also choosing to make like some of those bad decisions, that kept that led him to his death ultimately.
Exactly.
And that's what's
Right,
like
the
so
fine
hard.
line.
Yeah, because it's like, well, it's like you can't really have too much sympathy because as far as him making those bad decisions, but I have empathy for sure, like of like that whole situation because he did seem like he was trying to be, he had a good voice in him that was telling him what to do, and everyone around him cared about him so much that they were trying to help him out too. And it's just like, so it's a sad ending, man. It's just like it's
heart-wrenching.
I definitely
it's
was
cringy.
like, let's watch something light now.
Yeah, let's lighten up the mood after that, right?
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah,
so
so that's what I'm realizing with my artistic journey. I think lighting up the sensitivity towards the dark edge that a lot of these projects have is a big deal in a lot of ways. I think a lot of that's honing in a lot of influence, and movies like that are just I think it doesn't give you a light at the end of the tunnel at all. So that's a lot to carry, and I apologize for not warning
No,
it
it's
deep.
okay. I'm not mad about it.
No, I know it's funny. I think I've been
But Wendy was kind of like, she was surprised that I brought it up. I was like, you want to watch Menace to Society? She was like, really? I was like, yeah. I was like, Blake was talking about it on the pod. And she was just like, well, it's heavy. Like, she told me, she was like, it's really heavy. And I was like, well, he said it was really good.
It's a masterpiece.
Good. And I was like, yeah. So I was like, I think I'm fine. I can handle it. I was like, it'll be all right. And like, yeah, it's like, of course, it's a great movie, a great watch, but wow, it was definitely. I was like, you guys weren't wrong. I mean,
it's just too insane.
It's
yeah,
like, that's too real.
It's a lot of
too real.
Yeah, it's too real.
Like,
I think it's a lot of that. It's like taking on that Martin Scorsese energy and just really ramping it all the way with rawness.
Yeah,
you could say.
yeah. It was that was a great. That's how I was.
It makes you appreciate Scorsese. That's why I keep going back to Taxi Driver. It's the perfect
raw.
subtle movie on those very topics and themes. I think Taxi Driver is my favorite subtle piece about a lot of that.
There's something because you can kind of have a fantasy lens to it in a sense, like the subtleness sometimes, like with those situations and those kind of movies that are still like gritty and raw, like they're like almost like you have to write that kind of story. So it's like so this is like just a imagination, but like something like Menace to Society is like that's very real.
It's
and
very close.
It's like they're very too close to.
It's disturbing, and the stuff really happens. There's a certain way you want to say a lot of that stuff,
Yeah.
and you kind of can see a contrast in a lot of 21st century art to how a lot it was in the 90s, where 21st century art's going to take you that dark and generally have something to kind of like see on the light side of it in a lot of ways too, which is also out there and it needs to be said as much as the dark side. But sometimes there is a society that one just really runs on its edge, and there's it's like shock value.
Yeah,
you could say. It's like shock
that's
cinema.
What I was feeling.
That's very 90s. There's a lot of movies like that where it's like, dude, this is just living in my subconscious way too much. Like you said, Menace to Society is a big one.
Well, you know what? It makes me like life is so fragile. Like every day, it's just like anyway, especially because like recent family scares and stuff like that. You're just like, oh my gosh, like life really is just so like fragile. Every day is kind of just like on your guard all the time. Like I feel like I'm always just kind of like in general like just making sure I'm doing the best I can and as practical as I can for that and whatnot for me and my family. So so like seeing like that, or like you said, just kind of runs on the edge of like and very shock value. Just like it's just like ooh, left and right.
It needs
like,
a redemption.
It's like I don't need to be reminded that stuff is like
I
happening.
need a redemption.
Like I just kind of like
you don't need a reminder. You already know.
The world is fucked. I know. It's like the world is fucked. It really is. Like I mean, even the shit that's happening in the real world right now, like as we speak, is just like insane. I can't believe we live in this kind of timeline right now.
I can't either.
So I do.
Like,
I like watching the dark art, but at the same time, I need a lot more of that humbleness and hopefulness and level and like love kind of.
And I 100% read that in big time because that's how you perceive it. It actually sincerely reminds me. We were talking about the actors Jack Black and Ethan Hawke yesterday, and that was making me think. I think those actors might seriously remind me a lot of the earthy. I think I get an earthy atmosphere out of those personalities, particularly.
And you put on School of Rock over here. Richard Linklater.
Linklater.
I mean, this is a classic, great movie.
It really is one of the best of all time.
And you're right. Every time you watch it, it like doesn't get old. It's a very like
actually gets better with age. I find in a weird way. I've grown up with this movie. I've seen this one of the most movies I've ever rewatched. And I'm like, it really doesn't lose its steam. It reminds me a lot of that One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest formula, where kind of like a crazy leader sort of goes in and actually kind of shifts up everyone's lives for the better in a very offbeat, eccentric sort of way, but very resonating in every sense.
For sure.
Yeah, that made me. I mean,
Jack Black. Going back to him, he is. We were talking about him, and because like also like I just watched a Minecraft movie with Augie.
I want to see that. I want to play the game too.
Dude, it's fun. It's like, I mean, like, here's the thing about it. It's definitely oriented for like the fans and the kid and like that age group and stuff like that. But it's definitely a quirky and comical movie that I mean, I was chuckling, you know. And what I think really sells it is Jack Black and Jason Momoa. Also, he was like really funny. Also, I really liked what he was doing in that. But Jack Black is just like what I really appreciate about him was like, man, he like you said it best. He is in his kind of like Adam Sandler era. He's just like, I'm making whatever I want to make. I'm having fun, and he just doesn't care, man. He's so like loose, and he's just singing and like dancing, and the way he can just, you know, papa, you know, what? It's just like the way he carries his voice is
Charisma.
The charisma
Off
is
the
just
charts.
on it, man. He's so fun to watch. So, and I was having a great time watching him in that, and
That's awesome.
yeah,
That makes me so excited
it's a
to
light,
see that.
yeah, just a very light tone, earthy kind of vibe for sure.
That's exactly, you know, and I think I recognize that. Maybe I recognize that element more than ever with age in the School of Rock. You know, it's like I always grew up loving it, thinking, oh, I want a teacher like that, you know. And then with age, it just turns into just what a great character. And now, yeah, honestly, it's like, well, that's just the greatest influence to leave. The eccentric but correct kind of way of looking at things, basically.
Mm-hmm.
He's awesome.
Ethan Hawke is another like underrated guy. Anything he's in generally, I'm interested in watching. I think he's just he's got such range. Like
He's original.
Really, really original.
He's got a lot of range. It's just more and more with age. He kind of just seems like he just holds up extremely well with that.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, he can be really funny, but he's kind of got this like sort of like loose, dramatic sort of angle about him. And it's particularly loose whenever it's for him somehow, and very strangely whimsical. I feel like I get a whimsical atmosphere out of him, and he holds it in a perfectly realistic, down the earth kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since the word, I think it's
he's in a lot of horror movies. You know,
he's done a lot of horror movies.
It's just like he's just.
That's how I first heard about him.
Yeah. He's just all over, man, and he really knows how to. I don't know, just make you. He's got a very charming appearance, you know.
Extremely charming, bro. Yeah, exactly. And it's like I think I started with like watching some Linklater movies he was in, like the Before trilogy and all that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites.
Boyhood was
a big one.
I need to rewatch that one.
Holds
for sure.
up. Oh, brother, I'm especially excited to hear your take after.
Yeah. That was really, really fascinating to watch, and I love that. I love that it takes place. Like, I mean, they filmed it in those years gaps
organically.
Like, it's so crazy.
It's so crazy, and I love it. It's so organic the way it's told. And I mean, it kind of just turns out like a very original experiment altogether, just to convey look at 12 years of this family's lives and just organically as they age, and it just ends up feeling like an ultimate time capsule of the 2000s era in every sense of the word.
Yeah, Blink's in it. The soundtrack, Anthem Part 2, I think.
Blink's in it. They're playing
crazy.
Halo in a scene. It's like there's so much that resonates.
Wow,
it's insane. Yeah, the soundtrack's insane. They put like the high. Watch a lot of the punk energy of the decade, which is like, man, a lot of Spark holds up the best. I feel like.
Yeah.
The movie just conveys what that was like in the moment so well that it's like, wow, I know. The movie just kind of perfectly marries childhood growing up, I think, in every sense of the word.
That's cool. Yeah, I got to watch that again.
Holds up because it's like you don't just get the children's perspective, you get the adult's perspective every bit as much. Much like how School of Rock is. I think Linklater has a particularly golden perspective on nostalgia. It's like talking last time about Twin Peaks. David Lynch was anti-nostalgia. I think Linklater is sincerely nostalgic, but he also just feels like he's original and how he just sees the timeless value in all of the stages of growing up. You know, like the ones where it's like if you're dwelling, it's like, well, here's like the timeless way of looking at it. He just kind of just ends up laying it out perfectly. I feel like with this filmography, because he goes through all ages. It's like starts off with like being in school, you know, like high school, college, and then it's like dating. Like it gets into all of those. He gets into all of that.
Yeah,
you know, love, romance, and like he just has a full spectrum of that in his filmography. And it's I don't know. I love all of his shades on it, really, and the artistic walk in the general sense too.
Didn't he direct? No. What am I thinking of? What are the movies he directed?
He did School of Rock. Oh, Days of Confused.
Yes.
Everybody Wants Some.
Everybody Wants Some. Great.
So fun. Yeah.
He does a lot of great like Hangout vibes.
He's
too.
like one of the ultimate Hangout directors. Yeah. When I watch interviews with him, he seems like about one of the most down to earth guys I've ever seen. Like in every sense of the word. Like much how you're talking about with Black and Hawk. It's like they just seem like they're just very in the moment. They have a real zen about them that's very original, and they're completely inviting to the world, to people when they're talking to them, and the way they talk about film and perceive things. Like it's like these guys are obsessed with movies, particularly. I mean, like Linklater would literally watch like over 1,000 films a year before he took off as a director back in the 80s. And yeah, and it's like I don't know, he's really someone. And it's like and I think he was going to do that until his filmography took off. And then like once he did, he just ended up being one of the guys who recruited some of the best actors of all time, including Black and Hawk. He really elevated a lot of their careers, as well as like guys like Ben Affleck back in Days of Confused. Like that one particularly, like that shot off so many actors. Like it's like Ben Affleck, Matthew McConaughey. It's like Linklater kind of discovered all those guys, made them stars. Yeah, it's kind of surreal, like how subtle his influence is. It reminds me a lot of like that. yeah, kind of that REM influence where it's just there, you know, it's kind of just everywhere so much that it goes unspoken almost, the way Linklater's influenced, I think filmmaking in life.
Yeah. He directed that one fucking movie that we watched. What was it? We watched it at your place last.
Man, there's so many of them. Let me think through which one. Is it Apollo 10.5?
No. It was like the food thing.
Fast Food Nation.
Oh, yeah.
That was a dud.
God,
that was his
awful.
dud. He's made a few duds in the middle of all his wonders too. Yeah, that was the worst one I think he made.
That was awful. That
was so bad.
At first, though, I remember liking it. I was like, "Oh, this is moving in a fun direction here," or something. Like I think we were both vibing on it, and then all of a sudden, like
too gross
it takes a
for no
complete
reason.
180, and it just kind of starts going down, and then the ending was like, oh, it was so bad with the.
It was kind of like a gross out dead end, you could say.
Yeah,
it was like kind of like the gross out genre, but maybe like very dated kind of way.
Yeah, I don't think it pulled off very well.
It didn't execute well at all in the end because of the final act, and that can really make or break a film in a lot of ways. I think the final act is one of the biggest make or breaks in filmmaking.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like building up to it is one thing, and then there's just another thing of just how you wrap it all up and how you conclude it. It's another league, I think. I almost see it as a final boss of filmmaking. It's like, how are you going to wrap up a story?
Well, and the ending's always the hardest part, man. Like, you know, you got to really. It's very common to write scripts and kind of with an idea and kind of know where it's going to go, and then get to like that 23rd or like that 30-page mark where you're kind of shifting in Act 2, and then you kind of just start getting lost because it's like, okay, well, it can go this way, but then how do you end it? You know, it's like. Or you get in throughout that Act 2, and you're like, how do I end it? And then you start going, you're finding something, you're like, rewrite, because, and then it ultimately ends up changing what you did in the first part of the movie. And so kind of getting that bad cycle of figuring out what your ending is, because you don't really know the ending. You kind of had the idea and the spark to kind of get the idea flowing, but you're like, well, how does it end? And you're trying to make that up as you go, or you're trying to get there, find it, because like you said, it is like a final boss. It's just like, well, it has to be good. It has to be like, how does this really conclude? But
exactly, how does it warrant it? Yeah, how do you warrant that?
Yeah, and I was struggling with that for TV Land, like writing it. And I still like the idea is there of what I wanted to do originally, but it's still just kind of like well, I don't know how the audience will perceive this, because it's like it's kind of just this ending that I'm throwing right at you. It's just like, and the build up is like, wow. So but to get there, that Act 3, I've still been really like, it's my most unsure part of the movie.
Yeah.
I love the Act 1, Act 2 structure of it, but
you're taking in the Hangout side, and maybe it's like, where does this conclude? Where does this end?
Yeah, absolutely. But, you just kind of got to roll with it.
That's the surrealism, brother. I see you honing in on the surrealistic edge more than ever. A lot of that relies on intuition. It's just like, well, where is this going next exactly? It's like you need that extended time to really flesh out the passing of seasons and time to really understand exactly what it is you're wanting to convey with it, or what sparks your instinct to have the ambition to convey what you want to convey. Sometimes you need to really let some time pass to really marinate on that, what that is exactly.
That's true. Yeah. Well, I've kind of been really coming to more and more peace with that over the last couple of years, because I don't know, man, timelines are very strange. I mean, right now it's 2026, and back in 2022 is when I made He Comes to Kill, and I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, it's going to be 4 years making that
That's
movie,
surreal.
like later this year, and I've always wanted to do a sequel, and it's kind of just like my sequels ideas have went from A to B to C, different ideas, and it's just kind of like, I think I know where I want to go with it again, but at the same time, it's like, I don't think I'm ready to do that yet. And that's one of those things where it's like, I have to kind of, like you said, marinate and think about these ideas to get them right. And, when I'm right with, myself and,
Exactly.
my creativity and life at where it's at,
You're a true original, so you're going to have your own path and your own way of going about that.
My day-to-day has changed so much, where I'm very much focused on what I have going on in my life, and then the creative stuff kind of comes to the side. But it's like, well, I still need to funnel it. I have to like kind of do something. But TV Land, I think, is a great way for me to segue into my next phase of wherever my journey takes
I'm
me.
seeing a huge shift, brother. It's been really fascinating of a whole. Cause I think taking in like recent movies that have meant a lot to you, like Eyes Wide Shut, One Better After
I can't stop
Another.
thinking about those two,
Addicting
man.
movies.
And I've been like I feel my brain. I've been having some like visions of like these ideas that I want to implement into another movie I want to write. And I'm really coming back to one of my older scripts too, like a couple of the ones that you've read before. And
So
I'm like, okay,
they resonate with the aesthetic.
yeah.
Literally,
And I'm like,
is what I
maybe,
realized.
yeah, maybe I can like really kind of do this, or start thinking of this idea or blend all of what I've grown and learned from and taken in to make that like the next ambition project.
Absolutely
Project.
so. Absolutely so, brother. Yeah, it's an aesthetic value. I consider that kind of like the nighttime anxious rush and like conveying the chaos and characterization around all of that really fleshed out. And I think there's an aesthetic value that's always been in your screenplay and your art. And it's like somehow I think there's just going to be more and more of a confident way of going about that with age because there's such a timeless foundation to it in every sense of the word. And I think all of it's just really finding your own voice about how you get to that point, how you set your life up, everything around your artistic and personal life, you could say.
For sure.
Kind of finding your balance and finding your way around all of that and living a down-to-earth kind of way. Exactly. You strike me as big time the Black and Hawk influence of down-to-earth. I think there's something about you that wants to live up in your art. And you want to live up and kind of convey that in your art, the Hangout spirit and culture.
Well, I think there's so much more to life and my life in particular as far as like what I enjoy about art. So it's like filmmaking is definitely like my passion, my number one love, and movies are my number one love. But I adore music and I adore like actual art, in general. Like I want to get into more books. We've all these things we talk about, along with like I have to personally kind of just have fun in my personal life, I kind of have to just like hang out with people and go places and do things, and that's all like outside of all that. So I really appreciate that more than the other side. So
right.
Kind of just like I have to, it's just
you have
like
to cater to that and understand that.
Yeah, so I have to build my fence around like when filmmaking comes into my life and does its thing.
It hibernates, it'll be full force.
It overpowers me, man. It takes over my whole like day to day, and scheduling and doing all those things. It's just like it's a really heavy process to kind of start planning for a new movie and things like that.
It's overwhelming.
So,
I think you realize maybe more than ever, it's like the sensitivity of confidence that can be executed, and it is an overwhelming thing to do. In a lot of ways. So there's a Hangout spirit I think it's more than ever calls to be implemented.
I have to, a
certain way, a specific way.
I think my work shows for who I am as a filmmaker and what I like to do and what I am building to try and keep doing. But I'm in no position, and I can't like just go at that all day, every day, hardcore about it. Like I got to just kind of make it fit in my life, in a healthy way and things like that. So, but I've come to peace with a lot of that, man. I used to really, I don't know why it bothered me so much when I was younger, and
it is challenging.
I think it's just like one of those things where it's like you just want it so bad. You
can focus on how much you want it with age. I think when you're younger, it's like it's tough to maybe fully focus on a lot of that.
Yeah.
It's too many distractions almost in a sense. But now you can kind of focus and just realize how you want to live life, in that relaxed sort of way. Like how you want to see things and implement things, execute things. It's particular. Hey man, that stuff takes time, and the Hangout culture really kind of just infuses and influences a lot of the emotions of a lot of the artistic route.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. It's easier for me to talk about movies and watch movies for now, and come up with ideas and until it's ready to execute.
Yeah, so that time calls for it, exactly.
But yeah, dude.
I hear that.
I don't know where else we were going with all that.
Oh, we're just kind of going on about movies.
Oh yeah, what else have you been doing? Up to watching?
Really. It's just been a variety of things I've been watching.
I watched only one other movie besides Minecraft and Menace to Society, which was Walking Tall.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still pretty fun. You said you saw it in theaters.
I did. Yeah, I saw it in theaters upon theatrical release. I was notorious. I remember being like about 15 minutes late to the screening.
Oh yeah,
I really loved it whenever I saw it.
Yeah, I watched it and had it on DVD, and I watched it a lot. Like a good handful of times when I was younger.
A good movie.
It's a fun movie, and I like that it was around the timeline of The Rock kind of really coming up in movies. Like he was really kind of doing some things back to back to back now, and that was one of the early movies that was doing that. And it's a fun movie. It's a great good
homely aesthetic.
Kind of like it's a very limited location and kind of small town aesthetic, and the action the fight scenes are pretty pretty fun, dude. And they're all like, it's all fucking loose and serious at the same time because Johnny Knoxville's in it too, and he's just like a character. So, but yeah, I watched that, and that's just Winnie never saw it, so we watched it. But that was a cool, like, great 2000s action vibe, you know.
I know it is a good one, man. No, it holds up in a lot of ways in my memory. It's one I seriously want to rewatch because there's a lot of movies from that year I'm realizing hold up way better than ever in every sense. And that's when it definitely sparked my subconscious, kind of along with like watching stuff like Man on Fire, 50 First Dates from that year, Polar Express. It's like that's another one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. But as far as movies I've been watching, I've always got a lot of my rotation. But the latest I think I've been thinking the most about are Taxi Driver and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I mean, just some most timeless.
Really wanting to rewatch Taxi Driver.
Most timeless pieces of art ever made, honestly, and it just really, sincerely, just kind of gets better with age. Honestly, it's like cause it's just such a, I think it's the perfect way of depicting a close-up character piece in every sense of the word. You're really in a raw diary of a madman in that whole movie, and it really just is. It's just close up the whole way through, and it's something so fascinating you can never turn away from it. You know, I think it's just one of the most raw, one of the greatest punk, I think, statements ever made. I think that's Martin Scorsese's ultimate punk statement as an artist, and it's so timeless.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best character pieces.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of just like I guess, he's crazy.
He's crazy. He's a crazy guy who is like tempted with a lot of things. It's like, like I think he's got a lot of charisma about him in a lot of ways. It's like some things around him are very out of touch with reality, but he's also very charismatic. But then it's like he kind of just ends up taking a lot of it's like he gets so obsessive that it's like he goes on a kind of like something of like a suicide mission basically.
Yeah,
with it. It
takes matters in his own hands. It's just like, that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
I need to rewatch it again, man. It's been a really long time, but it blew me away. I mean,
holds up.
You know, and that was like one of those things where I realized how much I love Scorsese too.
Seriously.
I was like, wow,
he's really one of the best.
And King of Comedy
ever.
Next to that. We've talked about King of Comedy so many times on numerous podcasts.
A similar movie to Taxi Driver.
They
feel really lonely. It's like, and you kind of you feel like another shade of it in a King of Comedy where it's particularly abrasive in that movie. You feel like between just the way De Niro interacts with characters, he's kind of disturbingly just in your face about his personality.
And
it's
then
gross
it's so cringe. Man.
Yeah, it's completely cringe. It's a cringe fest.
Yeah. But
they almost have a gross out quality about them in a way, and it's like you just kind of get just the line where, like, kind of like we were saying earlier about like some of the dark stuff of the '90s. Like it feels like Scorsese was particularly subtle about a lot of these angles that make it maybe I think my favorite artist personally to depict a lot of this stuff.
Yeah,
just for how subtle it is.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, seriously, man, absolutely. So yeah, that One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I think the power of that film is just extremely timeless. Again, that's one I always grew up on, and I just have memories of watching like that, Jaws, and War of the Worlds, like at a lake house growing up. And it's like somehow those just like have a downright mystical appeal to me these days. I think. But One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is one where it's just like I think kind of like how we were saying with School of Rock, where it's like you just kind of have this Jack Nicholson, a very eccentric kind of like you can't tell what's up with this guy, but then he ends up kind of being this like savior figure for a lot everyone who needs a person like him.
I remember
out of their shells.
Another one-time watch.
It's kind of a wake-up call.
Kind of what I remember getting from the feeling of. It was
totally
just like,
earthy about it.
It's kind of like whimsical in its own way.
It's whimsical.
He really does kind of come in as like a little hero or like a friend, you know, someone who kind of stirs it up, mixes it up a little bit. But
exactly.
I feel like I remember it being sad.
It is also sad, yes, and it also like it's like how the film Boogie Nights is, where it's on this balance where it almost there's so much exciting and kind of whimsical moments that it's often easy to forget how dark it also is. In the middle of all that, I mean, Boogie Nights, for example, like all the violence, like I feel like it's just like very unpredictable in every sense of the way. But One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, there's like violent moments that happen with characters, like characters not getting along fully. It's like that nurse. I mean, it just causes so much friction that it's really depressing. How I think there's so much injustice kind of going on, and a lot of that's portrayed really subtly. Yeah. It's like, wow, it's just no way to operate a ward like this at all. You know, you can really sense that she has no way of. It's almost the opposite of a hangout culture. It's the anti-hangout culture. The way
she's trying to shut that shit down.
She just wants to shut that shit down. Exactly. Yeah, and it's like said right in the early '60s, where I think a lot of people were just like, I think starting to read between the lines and be like, no.
And those like asylums like that were kind of more common and stuff like that, and it's just keep them medicated, keep them, and because don't they do a lobotomy or something like that?
They do. Yeah, dude, that's disturbing.
That's
disturbing.
Like, very disturbing. So, yeah, but that's I need to rewatch that one.
Holds up.
Oh man, where was I going with that? Because I had something in mind.
I was just kind of rambling about a few movies I'd watched recently.
Yeah, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I had something to go with. Go ahead.
I was going to say much like Love. Also, I had a recent rewatch of that. That's
damn,
just
you're watching all the good ones.
I
man.
know, bro. It just flies, bro. I mean, it's just what flows in the moment, you know.
Yeah.
I've been taking a lot of cool stuff, like watching all these movies, and then on the book, and I've been reading one called Gravity's Rainbow by Thomas Pynchon.
I know you come in every day with it,
brother. It's been an addiction because this book was supposedly the biggest influence on Paul Thomas Anderson's art and about all of the films he made. That's what kind of led me into it. And now I'm finding it its own language, and it's on its own rhythm entirely. I've never read anything like it before. It's by far my favorite book. I've only got 100 pages to go, just because of how like it's abstract, it's really funny, and it's loose to such a unique level. I'm like, man, I'm finding the roots of this like everywhere right now. Honestly,
cool.
It's
you got me really curious.
It's such a
about
hangout spirit, but it's like it seems like one of those books that's intimidating to start with, but like I don't know, once you're in it, it's really fun. It's very stream of conscious and like about itself in a lot of ways. So I'm planning once I finish, I'm getting you a copy, bro.
All right,
just read at your own pace whenever. You know,
that's cool.
It's one of those I think it's meant to be slow paced, but I'm just on an anxious rush about it right now because I have a tendency. I'm realizing while I'm reading this, it's like wow, I genuinely want to calm down and slow down because it's like the rush that this book is taking me through. It's like it actually is too much in a lot of ways, you know. So it's like this almost doesn't feel down to earth really. So it's like more than ever, man. You need the hangout king. You need the hangout spirit, you know. Oh, brother, this is perfect.
Yeah, that's what we like to do here. Hang out.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. Because it's like light and dark. I mean, it's just everything. I mean, it's all about film. And there's so much film influence going into all this. Like it's. Also, kind of making it a metaphor for also just like I'm like it's a little obsessed like war and rocket launchers. Also, like it's very satirical in every sense of the word. Yeah, it's a crazy book.
Well, yeah, I'm excited about it.
Yeah, a lot of people say it can't be made into a movie, but I'm reading it and just I don't know. I'm thinking
maybe we can.
I'm thinking. I mean, it's gonna need time to be understood, obviously, because it's very surreal. But yeah, I don't know. Right now, it feels realistic.
Yeah, you've definitely had a buzz about you last few times I've seen you.
Yeah, bro. I think this
you're kind of reminding me of. Like Jim Carrey, or no, not Jim Carrey. I was gonna think Jim Carrey.
James Stewart in Vertigo.
No. The guy or Sam Neill. I think. What's his name?
Sam Neill in The Mouth of Madness?
In The Mouth of Madness.
Oh, brother, seriously. Oh, that's the best. I've been wanting to rewatch it. I was actually thinking about that movie yesterday.
I watched it for the
It's a great movie.
Season. Oh, my
that's
God. It was amazing. It was really, really good.
That's one of Carpenter's best. Yeah, that's all about book madness and the madness it spawns.
Like, he's all kind of like off-putting about the book and stuff. He's really sassy. I love how sassy he is.
I know. He's a huge original.
And he's just like standoffish about this book, but then he starts reading it. He's just like, hey, this book is kind of pretty good, you know. It's just like he starts getting crazy with it, and just ends up being such a mind fuck, dude. That was a trippy movie, very cool. But yeah, like I feel like last few times, the way you were talking about the book, I was like, oh man, you're getting about to be in the mouth of madness, man.
Yeah, it is the mouth of madness. No, it's sparking my heart away. It's like, wow, this is too maddening. This is too insane. And I'm like, wow, this is loosened up. The fact this can be made social and public in this book's eyes, man, that's so inspiring. Honestly, that's a lot. It's really jolting, and it's really kind of just like. Again, it's like almost like a healthy way of looking at some shock value, you could say, in a lot of ways. I think that's a lot of maybe what's needed to evolve, and just how to perceive a lot of that stuff. And how do you be open about what seems like it's difficult to open up about? And it feels like that's the point. It feels like that's almost the point I'm getting out of the book in a lot of ways. So I know it's so much that it's like, wow, that something needs to be done with that energy, bro. That's all I can see. Right? It's so much, dude. It's a jolt. It's like a jolt of lightning.
It's like, what do you do with it, you know?
Yeah, that's a lot of what we see. You see a lot of rotation. We talk about how like, you throw things out, you see what sticks, and it's like, dude, when you see that rotation so much, it's like eventually you just have to look back and like, really, what's actually the best of all that? You know, what actually needs to move, be continued to move forward in every sense of the word. And I don't know, it just gets more sensitive with age. I think with age, that's what I like about growing up. You kind of understand that stuff more as you go in a lot of ways. Maybe that's what a person needs to take years to kind of shuffle through the seasons and like shuffling their madness. You could say there's madness, and I think books are almost like a final boss of madness. I find in a lot of ways because there's this almost feeling of like I almost don't want to read really at first, but then once I'm in it, it's like it kind of feels like child's play to read this. I can't explain it, dude. It's extremely surreal. It's like it really brings out the madness to a unique, original extent that just. I don't know. It just enhances why I love all these movies more. It enhances why I love Paul Thomas Anderson more. It makes me want to get way more into these games I'm playing, like and all that. It makes me want to just look at everything closer more than ever. Really, it's just more everything and nothing is the meaning of it, brother. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, well,
it's never been more everything and nothing than it has been with reading this, man. It's original.
All right. Well, I'm really curious to see what you're talking about because I'm like, I have no idea. I haven't even read the synopsis on it or anything.
Dude,
so.
Exactly. It's very stream of conscious, very stream of, but basically just the contrast of war to just like kind of like the laid backness of just like, I don't know, like Pierre's just obsessed with movies, being in the moment with things, just life and reality.
Yeah.
Just being crazy, being loose. It's more of an atmosphere and a tone, kind of a punk statement even.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one. I'm relating out a lot to those movies. I mentioned Taxi Driver, One for the Cuckoo's Nest, and then Mission Punch Drunk Love also. I think rewatching that, that's like, I think it's just one of the most atmospheric movies Paul Thomas Anderson's made. One of those raw character pieces he's ever made as well. Cause it's like, I think he made Boogie Nights Magnolia and realized how much he just wanted to get close up on one character, which is Adam Sandler. He's obsessed with his goofball persona, and it's like, what's that like in the real world? And I think P.T. Anderson just wanted to explore the full spectrum, and it's like, there's a light side of it, and then there's also, like you kind of said, there's kind of a depression about it that kind of stems as well. Like a lot of it's really depressing too. So it's a really heavy movie. Ultimately.
It is. That was like
very powerful.
Kind of like mentioning from what we talked about, watching movies as you get older. Like I watched that movie probably like 8-10 years ago or something like that, and was like, wow, this like I loved it, fell in love with it, and I've watched it one more time and still enjoyed it. And then the last time I watched it was just maybe a couple years ago or something, kind of relatively soon. Anyways, when I watched it then, it was still great, but I felt very like much more like sad kind of like than the previous times I've watched it. It was kind of just one of those things where like as I got older I was like, oh wow, this is a lot more real and antisocial and like, you know, kind of cringy and sad and awkward and like all these feelings and stuff. Like there's like an uncomfortableness kind of watching him kind of go through his own like way of he's kind of got
his own like demons he's wrestling with in a lot of it, man. It's a lot too, you know. And it's like there's like a force that kind of frees him from it, but the same way it's just the angles of like it's just like having those 7 sisters over him. Like like you could tell like he's been abused by
gosh,
that way. I mean, it's like
so many memorable scenes in that movie.
I know
him and Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh dude, those are some of the best. I mean, it literally feels like a true villainous character in every sense of the word, and the way that's all paced of him, just kind of the climax of that is just when he gets to that store where he's like carrying that phone all the way with him and he kind of just confronts him. He's like, that's that mattress, man. He ends up just kind of humiliating him and all that. It's quite amazing.
And I love that he wears like that blue suit. The whole like
I do too. Like, I love that.
I'm pretty sure the whole movie.
It's so
like,
classy.
Yeah, and like just the way it's shot and it just feels very lonely, and just the way it's like paced and it's like very very slow but fast, like kind of because he's just kind of going through his next train of thought of like or his next raw emotion or feeling of like what he's doing. And it's just like, oh man, like I don't know. It's like, and it's not that long, which is
it's like 96 minutes. It's so short for a P.T. Anderson movie. He's never made movies that short.
It's just an awesome movie, man.
It's an awesome movie. Yeah, like you're saying, there's a lot of blue color schemes in general. That movie. That really shines. That's really excellent. That's really one of his best movies. I think it's one of the best shots, and that has some of the best shots I think he's ever gotten out of his whole filmography. It's very atmospheric, lush, and it's original. Yeah, I was just taking in like just the warehouse shots. Like some of those takes will go on for like 3 or 4 minutes.
It's wild.
They just make it intense somehow. And it's just always inviting. It's so inviting the way that it depicts such an antisocial kind of perspective in every sense. It's like about being like overbearingly shy in a lot of ways. Like just kind of having a crippling amount of anxiety to a point where it's like, the guy will just burst into tears out of nowhere. Like he's very very bipolar. Very like, you never know what he's gonna do next. That's unpredictable. Very
unpredictable. Yeah, Adam Sandler just does such a good job in those dramatic roles. I wish he would do more. I mean, Uncut Gems is like next level. You know, it's insane.
Uncut Gems is an insane movie.
But
it's one of the best.
Has he done it? Oh yeah, he's done like Funny People and things like that.
Funny
like
People. Spaceman was a recent great
Spaceman.
one.
Oh yeah, that was great.
That was really laid back. Yeah, he's just there's like a comfort about Adam Sandler that's just original.
Yes.
It's in a laid back sense. He feels like he's a hangout king, like in every sense. He's really awesome.
Yeah, Rain Over Me was another one that he did.
That was
that's he's really good about making you feel something, but also comfortable at the same time because it's Adam Sandler.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yep.
Yeah, what an amazing guy. So I watched. I fell asleep halfway through it, or like almost near the end. But the new Happy Gilmore. And
that's right.
I liked how it was kind of going for that more of that dramatic shade. It was.
He was good at doing it.
Yeah, and I was really like digging it. I need to go back and just restart it and finish it.
I'm the same. Yeah, I think I got really sleepy that first few. I need to rewatch it. I've been thinking a lot about that. I like the dramatic shades a lot because as much as I like I really love the first one. That first one is hilarious, and it's kind of interesting to see Sandler bring out dramatic shades. Again, it's like I think Punch Drunk Love really started that. And even some of the comedies like Mr. Deeds Big Daddy kind of had a little bit like where you can see he can handle some serious elements. Yeah, but that just evolved. I mean, it's like you said with Uncut Gems. It's like, wow.
And Click is another
and
good.
Click,
Yeah,
dude. Oh, I
Click
grew up
is so
obsessed
good.
with Click, dude.
I know.
I love that movie, dude. That's a fun movie, dude.
Christopher Walken, isn't it? He's
Walken's
kind of
like
creepy in that.
He's a
Yeah.
creepy villain in that, and I always love the twist of that, where it's like it's just having fun with this whole concept, which reminds you kind of It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah,
structure
that's
a little bit.
actually, you're so right. Yeah,
It's pretty similar because it's like he kind of goes, he always like loving this little, but then it's like it actually starts to kind of put him in a life crisis. You know, it actually gets pretty dramatic in the final act.
and he's just like
surprising.
he's going so far deeper and deeper, he can't like get out of it.
Yeah.
And it's like it's just driving him insane. Like he's just like going so it breaks him. You know,
Walken's almost like a satanic force to him. And
Yeah.
yeah. It's like he's doing all this. He's doing all these scenarios, and then eventually it's like, wow, yeah, the crisis is inevitably going to kick in. You know, for a scenario like that. It's like I think he kind of finds his one way. It's like, well, life. You know, like he kind of needs more life and I don't know. It's like that's what a lot of these optimistic movies kind of portray. It's like he just needs more life into it in every sense. You know, to get the Hangout spirit across effectively.
Yeah.
And they had those movies had a fully fleshed out way of getting that across. And another one was like thinking about Big Daddy. I remember watching. I think I last saw that. I think I saw that at one of your old apartments like a long time ago.
Dude,
I remember loving that.
Yeah,
movie.
I love that movie so much. I just watched it again recently.
It holds up, I bet.
Yeah, it still holds up. I used to have that movie on every single night before I went to bed, just to help put me to sleep for whatever reason. But it's a very comforting movie, and I've always felt that way since I saw it as a kid. Like, very, very.
It is really funny.
Very like I don't know. Like I felt like, you know, Adam Sandler. I'm like, oh man, you feel like you could be like a cool dad.
Yeah, he does. He is like a cool dad. He really is a cool dad personality. Every sense of the word, he is. Yeah, he's so funny. He's so loose, and he's so inviting. He's got an inviting way about him. And although he's kind of like a complex person too. It's like he's just a full spectrum. And I think he's just one of those personalities that just keeps holding up better with age. Another one of my all-time favorite comedies is Billy Madison. I watched that a ton growing up. I mean, a ton.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
It's really funny. Yeah, just basically just going back to all the emotions of grade school. But it's like, man, that movie makes it so
ridiculous.
Fun. Yeah, it is ridiculous. It's just in every sense of the word. And it's like, and he ends up a little bit like School Rock. He ends up kind of accidentally being a heroic figure to some of the students along the way.
Yeah.
Like, they kind of. It's kind of cool how it gets there. Such a
What about The Water Boy?
Dude, I need to rewatch that. I've been thinking about that one some. I don't remember it. Well, I remember kind of liking it, and then I also just don't remember a lot of it.
Yeah,
it is. I don't think I tuned into it fully.
It's one of those things. I watched it a lot when I was a kid. It's one of those things where it's like I think it doesn't kind of give the appeal factor as like Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore.
Yeah,
because they were kind of all in the same around the same.
Yeah, they were
time.
really kind of mid-late 90s. Yeah. I remember it was kind of influenced by like a Forrest Gump kind of way, a little bit in the plot. It wasn't.
Yeah, but it's pretty good. I watched it. Wendy loves that movie, so I think we put it on like a while back. But
I rewatched that.
It was pretty fun.
That's what's up. Yeah, I like Sandler because wasn't he kind of a loner in that one too?
Yeah, and he's kind of just like he's really weird. He's like a mama's boy.
Yeah,
and, like, he like lives in that trailer park or something, and he's just like he's just like getting bullied and stuff. But he's just a really good football player. Like he's tackling everybody.
He's got his thing.
Yeah, so
I gotta rewatch
as far as like being like he's just like a force so that he can just like keep just help them win, essentially.
That's amazing.
But yeah, it's offbeat. It's funny.
I really need to.
The Longest Yard too.
Longest Yard, yeah,
that's a great one.
I think I like that one more with age too. Yeah, that's fun.
a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah, I've never seen the Burt Reynolds original, but I've always been attached. I've never seen that in theaters, and I instantly really enjoyed that one. And it's funny. It's just really funny.
A lot too. When I was younger.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I like the combination of Adam Sandler. You get old Burt Reynolds. Yeah, Burt Reynolds I think played Sandler's role back in the 70s.
Oh,
and so you get him as an old man in this one, and then Sandler's kind of playing that persona, which is particularly goofy. Seeing it from Sandler, I know Sandler's so goofy in that.
Yeah, he really is.
Yeah, it was that. And then again, 50 First Dates. I can't get over how perfect that recent rewatch was.
I think that is like a near perfect movie. It's just
agreed.
As far as
it's a perfect comedy,
being that kind of comedy and like romantic comedy vibe to it, and the chemistry, all of his castmates that he always works with is in it.
Yeah, it's like Rob Schneider in there and all that. Yeah, it's like the regulars.
It's very heartfelt. It's just very but it's like very kind of like serious too.
Yeah,
it's like it's
there's a dramatic edge about it. Yeah,
great movie.
No, I really like that.
Very funny, just super funny.
I know, seriously, it's funny. Yep, there's that one. And then there's a few I still want to see, which is The Wedding Singer. I've never seen that one.
I've seen that once.
Very
it's
curious.
Actually pretty good. I saw it not too long ago either. Maybe like 5-6 years ago or something like that, but
for a similar kind of character to his character in Mixed Nuts.
A little bit, yeah. It's a little bit, I guess, kind of more on the serious, quirky side. But it's like I remember liking it a lot. I'd have to rewatch it though, but because it's been a while. But I watched it only one time, and I thought it was better than I was expecting.
That's what's up.
What other ones that you need to watch?
There's that in Spanglish. I was curious about Spanglish.
Oh, I haven't seen Spanglish.
I've always heard mixed things about it, but I like his dramatic shade so much. I the feeling that a suspicion that Man might be an underrated one. I'm just curious to check mark that one finally. Yeah, there's that. Probably don't need to rewatch Rain on Me. I remember I was like, I didn't know what to make of it at first. I was like,
it doesn't really hold up. Not that well.
Too much of that 9/11 depiction is like kind of just showing. And somehow I feel like a lot of those haven't really held up that well. I think a lot of that's usually better in like documentary fashion or more like in a subtle sort of sense. There's a lot of art that has been successful at getting that across. Like the band Interpol, they were a band in 2002 in New York City after the 9/11 happened, and it was like a really just I think just a kind of a post-punk sort of way of looking at things, and just a metaphor for like maybe that movie I think was reaching for that. Somehow I feel like it's cinematically tough to convey that mood. Is I think the bottom line.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, I remember like when it came out, like I guess I don't know what year it was, but
2006.
It was 2006. Yeah, I remember it came out. I think the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, I just more enjoyed it for Adam Sandler, but
yeah,
I was like that was fine. But then like watching it a couple more times throughout the years, it was like this never really just holds up. It's not really rewatchable, and so.
Yeah.
You know,
it was the same year he did Click, so yeah, I guess the Click is the one that seems to hold up best.
Oh yeah, the Click is
awesome.
That's a great one.
They're just funny people. That's when I seriously wanted to rewatch it. That's just thought provoking. I know the more of the age, I'm like, well, that actually really is thought provoking.
That's always a better watch. Every time I watch it, it's better.
That's what I'm realizing.
Yeah,
it's one of those.
Yeah, because when I first like watched it, I thought I was expecting it to be a lot funnier.
Yeah, it almost seemed too serious. But
yeah,
I guess I like seeing serious shade too much now.
Yeah, and I guess I was in high school. It came out 2009.
Yep,
I think.
Exactly.
I was in high school, so I was expecting it to be really funny, and it was kind of long, and I was just like, it was interesting and good, but like I didn't get a lot out of it. So as I got older and started watching it, especially the last time I watched it, it was really, really good. Like I just really love that dramatic, like serious note of throughout the whole movie, and like it's not supposed to be like in your face funny. It's supposed to be just like telling this story, and it's got comedians in it and things like that.
Yeah, it's kind of just about comedians in every sense.
Yeah. There's a lot of great moments in it, and just like I think it kind of almost like what's it look like on that side of the map, in that kind of scene,
That's personal, yeah. And I think that's what I realized. It's like usually the comedian characters end up having the most dramatic shades within, I find, in a lot of ways. And I think that's so interesting to see when movies and stories can just explore the full spectrum of a comedian's life, because that's usually it's like there's a saying, it's like the serious one usually is also the funniest, and then the funniest one's also the serious. It's kind of surreal, but it's like usually funny on the outside, but something inside is like there's something very intense about it too.
And Adam Sandler goes through like a really kind of rough arc in that, it's kind of gets cringy by the end of it. You're like, dude, stop! You're just like making this worse, or you're such an asshole. Like he's such an asshole throughout it.
Yeah,
it's just like. So that one's a really good. That's a great rewatch.
Yeah,
I highly recommend.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. Yeah, well, Judd Apatow, I think, did that one. I
really
like him.
He's a hit or miss director for some things, but most movies he's made I've really liked.
Exactly how I feel. Yeah, he's had a few duds. I think there was King of Staten Island. I watched that. I think while you were staying at my place, that one did not hold up.
No, it did not.
I did not enjoy that one too much.
I think I got that movie confused that night also with another Pete Davidson movie that I was actually thinking of, because there's another one he did where he kind of plays that same like guy where he's not really doing a lot with his life, but he's like hanging out with some kid throughout it, and he has like the kid kind of really lets loose around him, and he kind of just helps him like find himself in a way, and it's like more of a hangout movie, but I think I was getting it confused with that one, and I didn't realize what we were watching that night. I was like, oh, this isn't really that good.
Yeah, it wasn't that good. It wasn't that good. No, exactly. I think like his prime era was like 40-Year-Old Virgin era. I think that's probably my favorite.
Oh yeah,
I love that movie, dude. And like Knocked Up holds up really well too.
Knocked Up's fun. Really, yeah. 40-Year-Old Virgin is fantastic.
It's a fantastic comedy.
Funny.
That's got a lot of those greats. Like Steve Carell's another one. It's
Steve Carell.
He's a great one.
I love anything Steve Carell.
Seriously, I'm guilty of not having seen more Office, but I mean I know that's like his most iconic role. But I mean just based off of like his cameos like Anchorman, Bruce Almighty, and 40-Year-Old Virgin. I mean I think he's one of my favorite comedians for those three alone.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just usually playing very offbeat, eccentric, like in every sense of the word. Like the outcast, like he's lonely, but there's like a light side to it. That's like totally a lighthearted shade on loneliness, and I don't care. Just seriously accept him for who he is. I mean I love him. Like that's everything a guy could could ask for,
Yeah, definitely.
So I love that movie. I love that movie very much. It's a great comedy. I'm trying to think what else. I guess we're just talking about Sandler. I was trying to think of any other Sandler movies. I think we covered about all of them really.
Yeah,
probably a few more, but
I'm sure there's some more out there, of course, but
it's also like Jack Black. I was curious what Jack Black roles have influenced you the most. We talk about School of Rock, Minecraft. What else has there been?
Tenacious D.
That's another great one. Yeah, Tenacious D's a blast. Yeah,
Actually, I need to rewatch it. It's been a long time.
I'm the same here. No, I haven't seen it since it was like on DVD, but that holds up as a great one. I mean, it's a total spoof on just like kind of like being a metalhead, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's a lot of fun, dude.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some other Jack Black films right now.
He's so good, such a good one. Yeah, there's that Nacho Libre also.
That's a fun one.
That was
it's
pretty
like,
fun.
but I've only seen it like once or twice.
I'm the same.
And I feel like it's kind of like a. I don't know. I had to really watch it this time.
I'm the same. No,
yeah.
I think that's one where I like it a lot, and I almost associate it as like almost like more of a memory capsule than it might be than like one I really remember and know dear to my heart, because I know that meant a lot to a lot of people I knew growing up. That's like I was like one of their favorite. I might have influenced a lot of great Hangout culture. So, and being a fan of Jack Black, I might just need to rewatch it by default, but. Yeah, I don't know how it'll land. I know it was kind of right in the time of like the Nickelodeon movies and all that. It's like it's okay. That's all that was just okay.
They were just okay.
A lot of it was just in the very middle ground.
I feel like the last time I remember watching anything from it, it just felt very dry, and it was kind of
Dry
just like
humor,
and it's just like some of that lands and some of it just doesn't. And it just kind of feels like, all right, well, you're just kind of getting through it. So
I think School of Rock's his ultimate moment. Yeah, so I think that's just like it reminds me so much of Jack Nicholson, and it's like it's just a real deal. Just a eccentric guy who just actually is a great influence on people.
Yeah, he's so good, man.
He's so good. Oh yeah, he scenes where he's with Joan Cusack.
Yeah.
he's trying to get the principal to loosen up, basically.
Yep.
And he actually gets there. That's what's so cool about it.
He is like so cool. In the movie.
Because he risks just almost being being a creepy scenario, unsettling even. But I don't know, Linklater and Black just make this heartwarming, and they make this seriously enduring, to where it's really not at all. Like it's just totally from the heart. This is just a sincerely great teacher figure in every sense of the word.
Sure. I was just looking up some other Jack Black movies. I was like, what am I? I'm just trying to think of like.
Yeah, I know. He's one of those like he's not.
He pops up in Anchorman, which is funny as the
That's
motorcyclist.
right. Oh, that's right. Trash my chopper, bros. He like tell me something you love. Yeah. He's like poetry, a glass of scotch, Baxter. Oh no, this is happening.
Oh gosh.
Oh man, it's so over the top.
It's so funny, dude.
I know, dude.
So bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not like a whole lot of Jack Black felt.
I mean, he just pops up a lot.
He's just memorable. He's just always memorable whenever he does. Yeah, and he's great.
I watched that movie Orange County.
Oh, I want to see that.
Yeah, it's actually all right, man.
Is it? Yeah.
It's not like a crazy good movie or anything. It's definitely like that 2000s like charm. I think it's 2002. So it's kind of like got that just like a coming of age slice of life. For this kid. Kind of going through it, trying to figure out if he wants to go to like this college or something. And Jack Black's like his kind of like bum brother and stuff, but he's not in it like the whole movie. It follows his kid most of the movie, but like he pops up quite a bit, and he's in it quite a bit. And
I want to see that.
But he's a nice like kind of push it to like a whatever man kind of vibe. But I liked it when I watched it.
I'm very intrigued by that. Yeah, I love that era of.
He's in King Kong.
I was about to say that was the one I literally. How did I forget that? That was that's probably that's probably my other favorite one next to School of Rock. So
I need to rewatch it, dude. I
love that movie.
I've seen it.
It gets a lot of polarizing.
Yeah,
reviews.
A lot of people like talk shit about it sometimes. But
I honestly am detached from all that. I think it's a perfectly great movie. I think it's a perfect epic because it's so epic in scope, and I think it's wonderfully paced. I mean, wonderfully paced. Mm-hmm. It's like the first hour you just really get to know the characters as they're going to the island to film a movie. Second act is just dinosaurs kind of dominating the whole scene, and just it turns into a monster movie basically, kind of invading Jurassic Park. And then third act it just kind of moves out to the big city, and King Kong's just like like all these airplanes are trying to take him down.
It's a sad movie too.
It's sad.
I mean, King Kong's story is always sad.
It's a sad one, man. He meets Naomi Watts, and then beauty kills the beast, as they say.
Yeah,
it's perfect, bro.
Yeah, I need to rewatch. It's been such a long time.
I love Jack Black in that. I think because I love his dramatic shades. It was like him, Naomi Watts, and Adrian Brody. I think that was a great trio of actors and an actress right there. Because again, I think that was just made for a really dynamic chemistry in every sense. Like the Black is very dramatic. Watts is also dramatic, and then Brody was almost a little bit more the I guess kind of more the laid back sort of relief in the whole thing. There's a good chemistry in that movie.
Yeah. And Peter Jackson, right?
Peter Jackson, yep. He was just fresh on Lord of the Rings.
That's epic.
He's epic.
Man, he just makes epic movies. That's wild.
He just does, yeah. Man, he knows how to get that across perfect in that.
Yeah. I forgot Tropic Thunder.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he wasn't that. That was funny.
Yeah,
man.
that's a funny movie.
That is a funny one. And then, like Tom Cruise had the very offbeat cameo.
He's always said he's wanted to do like a movie around that character or something like that. Yeah.
I think that's awesome. Yeah, and I also forgot. There's a few I've not seen. I'm curious about, which are The Holiday and Kung Fu Panda.
Oh yeah, The Holiday's fun. Or not. I would say fun, but it's good. It's a good movie. I like that. Yeah, and it's like it's kind of a Christmas time movie too. So I like those kind of Christmas movies, especially like those kind of rom-com, like, or whatever, or more dramatics, like Family Stone. This is kind of in the vein of like the Family Stone.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like.
But it's good. It's like he's charming in it. He's really like he's not as loud as he normally is. Like he's very laid back, but like cool. He's very Jack Black, but cool and like calm. And he's I think he sings and plays piano or something or guitar or something like at one point. He's very Jack Black, but just in a much more like in this relationship kind of esque, style, and it's cool. I enjoy that movie.
Dude,
I have not seen Kung Fu Panda though.
Yeah, I've not seen that either. I'm very curious. I've always heard that's one of the best, better animated movies of the century so far.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious about that.
I've seen parts of it just for being on TV or something, but I've never actually sat down and watched the whole movie. So
yeah, it needs a viewing.
I'm curious about Bernie.
Bernie, yeah, that was Richard Linklater did that one.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he sure did. Yeah,
wow.
I thought I liked that one fine. That was never one of my favorites, but I think I needs a rewatch. Honestly, I think that might marinate a little more because it's kind of it's extremely offbeat. It's a kind of part documentary, part like real. It was a real life case of a murder scenario basically, and it involves Jack Black and Shirley MacLaine's in it too from The Apartment.
Oh, okay.
Totally, and it's great. It's really interesting. Matthew McConaughey also. Yeah, that's it. That one sincerely needs a reevaluation. There's a handful of Linklater movies I need to go back and rewatch. That's another one. That is one of those.
Yeah,
that's set in Texas. It's an interesting murder story, but it's really weird how it's paced. It's because again, it's kind of got that like you get the murder, then you just kind of it's just like the court case, but it's almost like hard to tell if it's the real thing or if it's actually fictional.
Yeah, based off what the trailer, I was like, I don't know if I want to watch that. So, but I don't know. I'll check it out one day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's a good one. And then High Fidelity. Have you ever seen that?
No.
I was gonna say that was another one with Jack Black. That was made in 2000. Stars John Cusack, actually Joan Cusack's brother.
Yeah.
Made in the same era, School of Rock. But basically, it's just about a guy who just runs a record shop, and Jack Black's a customer who regularly stops in, and he's like extremely loud. It's kind of funny. Everyone else is a little more quiet. So then you got Jack Black, like someone who's like 10 times louder than everyone else, and he really works in that kind of role. He's like very loud, very opinionated about music, like just very loud about his take on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good comedy.
Okay.
I definitely recommend checking that out. So actually, it's a comedy drama, really, because it's actually kind of a comedy, but it's also almost like a really offbeat kind of like romance, right? You're looking at Joan Cusack's romance life, basically, like 5 different people he's been with, and just I don't know, almost like the sub story. It's a little pretty original, and I'd be really curious to hear your take on that.
Okay. Yeah. Have to look out for that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, High Fidelity. Yeah, then Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. Apparently Jack Black had a cameo.
I've never actually seen that.
I recommend it. It's really funny. I'd say if it's in that vein of like Tenacious D humor, where it's just totally spoofing it's just spoofing everything about the rock and roll lifestyle, and it's really funny. It's kind of spoofing particularly Johnny Cash in every sense. Mm-hmm. Which speaking of him, have you seen the movie Walk the Line?
Yeah, that's a great movie. I was just reading up on that again. Yesterday or something like that. It's like that's a great movie.
That is a great one. Yeah, agree. Now I realized how much I think Joaquin Phoenix just seriously holds up in all that whole performance. He kind of gets the chaotic energy.
You kind of forget he was in all these movies in like early 2000s as well, or like like he was in
the Gladiator.
He's in Gladiator. Yeah,
he's in like a lot of great stuff. Yeah, like kind of before doing the Paul Thomas Anderson collaborations, he was always kind of chaotic. And
I
realized I think when I saw Walk the Line, I instantly love his chaos because like he's particularly chaotic.
He's very chaotic.
A lot of detail-oriented moments of him just kind of losing it. Like there's a scene, also a moment in Punch Drunk Love as well, where in Walk the Line where he's totally just going apeshit in a bathroom and just totally tearing it apart, beating it up out of rage. Yeah, those are some of my favorite scenes in movies. He does that in The Master also kind of too when he breaks that scene.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm a huge fan of seeing Joaquin Phoenix just lose his shit. Basically, I think there's something original about his chaos. I mean, it's really groundbreaking.
It really is. Yeah, I mean, he does that. He has those shades in him, man. And I mean, even in Joker, it's just like,
oh, seriously, that's one of the biggest examples. And Joker, that whole depiction of, I think that's a great Phoenix showcase of just like, I don't know, just being, just gradually shifting into a total psychopath, and takes that Taxi Driver formula, and makes it very original.
Yeah, that one movie that he did that was like a mockumentary.
Oh yeah, I'm Still Here.
I'm Still Here.
He's like an aspiring rapper.
Yeah, I watched that when it came out, and I was so. I mean, I think I was just so blown away.
I was too,
because I was like, "What is happening? Like, this is really what he's doing." I thought it was like a real documentary.
I fell for it too.
I did. I fell for it. I was like, "This is." There's no way. I was like, "Man, this is sad to see him go through this." Like, I remember. He just came on like an interview not too long ago saying he regrets doing that movie.
Yeah, it made him look really. It actually made him look really bad. Yeah. Like when he's actually like he had way more to show for it. I think that's where Paul Thomas Anderson was seeing all that happen. He was like, "Dude, I got you, man." Like kind of.
He's like, "Don't worry, man."
I think that's kind of what
You're
happened.
You're a genius.
Actually.
Let me get you.
Yeah, literally, misguided genius. Yeah, I think with that, I think that probably happens to a lot of celebrities where they hit an intense like maybe identity crisis or something like that. He probably was going through a lot of the antisocial side of it in a lot of ways, and I think at the time it felt like a good idea to just kind of like I don't know, just really like. just do something that
Do
was
shock
off.
value,
Yeah, he wanted to
yeah.
shock the world basically. And he would rather just shock people than anything. And it's like that's all he cares about doing. And when we made that movie, I think that was just an exercise where it's actually not. I don't really like that movie that much actually. Like it is kind of cringy in a way.
I've only saw it one time, but it was enough for me to be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Even when you kind of know he's joking now, it's like it's just like, oh man, I think I love him too much. That's like, dude, he's literally shown too much to the world with his acting. It seems like if anything, it almost seems like a product of someone who doesn't have the best self-esteem, and that's like I just sincerely would want him to have more.
Right. Have you seen that movie? I Wish I Could Disappear. No, I don't know what it's called. It's not that. It's a random movie he did. I think in the late 2010s. He's kind of like a vigilante or something.
Yeah, that's on the list.
I have to look it up.
Yeah, he's always with a good one, man. Yeah, I mean with Joker and all that. Yeah, and here Vice, Master, like Walk the Line. So many of them he's done.
I know, babe. I was afraid. You Were Never Really Here.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, what was your take on that movie?
I thought it was okay.
I'm just exactly the same. I'm personally not a fan of that.
Yeah, I wasn't really a big fan of it.
I can't fully explain this one.
Yeah, that was like, I still try to wrap my head around that one.
It's weird, because I get that it kind of has some Scorsese influence, but somehow I did not care for the execution. It didn't really, maybe it just felt too much like a dead end, and it didn't really
That's
resolve.
where I was. I think I was kind of really liking the vibe of it and everything, and like in Joaquin, but like by the end of the movie, I don't think I think it kind of just went nowhere, or it went so offbeat that I was just like, I don't know how I feel about that.
Actually, an aimless movie.
Very aimless.
Yeah, it's
very
actually aimless.
I've
seen it 3 or 4 times trying to maybe like see if I misunderstood it. I don't know, man. It's consistently not resonated.
I only saw that one time, but I'm just like, I
don't think it was that good of it. I mean, it wasn't that interesting of a character. I like his acting, but I didn't think the character was that well written or executed. Yeah, that one really was not a standout. Let's see what else did he do in that era. Yeah, Beau Was Afraid. That's another great one. I love the Beau Was Afraid and Eddington. Yeah, the movies he did with Ari Aster have been. Yeah, he's collaborated with them twice now. Those have been fantastic. Because Beau Was Afraid is kind of like an exploration on cowardice, and then Eddington's kind of more of a confident kind of exploration. And did that terrible Joker sequel. That's just really bad. I don't have much to say about that. Except, that's a weird one.
The Joker sequel. What you say that?
It's about the Joker sequel that he did.
Oh God,
it's just weird. That was just too weird.
It was.
It's too weird.
It was very weird. I mean, it was just. I don't know. It kind of just felt aimless too, in a sense. It was just like, I just didn't like what they were doing, and like it just felt like it was so pulled in and out of. I don't know. It really was not good. Yeah. I was really having a hard time finishing that movie. And it's such a shame, man, because the first one is just
such a masterpiece.
It's a masterpiece.
So it's kind of just turning into it's kind of just a boring musical, really.
Yeah, it's really boring and very like, I don't know, just not.
It didn't get a statement across. It didn't get anything across, really. There was no range in acting or characterization. It just felt like an EP to like a masterpiece. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's like a side thing.
And then it just ends like how she's just like, no, and like he's in the arc. It's just like
it's kind of all for nothing. Yeah, I didn't really feel
all
like
for nothing.
It's
just I don't know. It's all kind of.
There's an aimless feeling there. Yeah, some movies convey that where it's like that's just. Yeah, and You Were Never Really Here. It kind of has that too. It's like that's just. I don't know. It doesn't really feel that cinematically inviting. It doesn't feel inviting somehow, I think.
Yeah.
Like, even if there's a lot of talent around making it, because I would call that almost a style over substance kind of deal.
Definitely.
I'll say another Phoenix movie I watched recently I really loved was The Village. I forgot if we talked about that one.
Oh, I need to actually watch that one all the way through.
Recommend it. Yeah. It's polarizing. I could understand why that may not hit. I don't know. I personally really got a lot out of it. I think that's a great, like, again, kind of like a small town horror aesthetic, really, in every sense. Actually, kind of freaks me out. I think is what it is. It really does crawl under my skin. I think the Phoenix is great. Adrian Brody's in that movie as well. And it just, a lot of it's really depressing. I think it was hitting me how depressing a lot of that really was. Like, it's a lot of weird kind of arcs going on. It's kind of just a weird movie all around. But I'd say it's definitely my favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie.
All right, yeah. I remember starting it, I think, not too long ago and wanting to watch the whole thing, but and I got like 30, maybe 20, 30. I got enough into it where I was like really kind of getting hooked. I was like, man, I really want to watch this, and I just didn't finish it, or I never went back to it. So.
It's got some good jump scares, and it kind of actually a good twist about it. It's a pretty good twist.
I think I know the ending, but I want to watch it still.
Definitely recommend that. Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I'm curious to see how that resonates because he also did Unbreakable. I think that's the other one that really holds up.
I need to rewatch that one too. I remember liking it a lot when I first watched it though.
Yeah, that one holds up really well. It's just the kind of Samuel Jackson, Bruce Willis dynamic. Like involves a lot of comic book influence.
M. Night's I know he's a polarizing director for a lot of people, but
he's got his moments.
I personally like M. Night, and also he's from Philly, so
yeah, literally, there's a lot of Philly influence.
Everything, like most of his movies are all set in like Philly.
I think I've realized that. I think I need to like reevaluate a lot of his stuff. Like one of them especially. So, yeah, you're right. Yeah, exactly. I think that's pretty awesome. And I really want to rewatch Signs. Have you seen that one?
Only once. I remember liking it. I think I remember liking thinking why it was like pretty weird and like it's kind of creepy, the way it's handled and stuff. Yeah. But I need to rewatch it for sure.
I know Joaquin Phoenix was in that also. And I know
he was.
It's like a cornfield type of movie. Yeah, I just remember that being a very farm, kind of a very horrific one, like alien invasion. Going on.
And it's very bizarre how the aliens are depicted and stuff like that too. So. Yeah. And The Happening is a weird movie, and I kind of like it though. Like I know it's not that great of a movie, but
I've seen clips of that.
Yeah,
I've seen all
The
of
Happening, I kind of like how that movie plays out though.
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg, kind of a disaster movie.
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg disaster movie, and it's just interesting how it's got about. But and then there's the Visit.
The Visit, yeah, I never see that one.
That was pretty good too. Of course, Split is fantastic. I watched Glass, and that was like okay. Then he did that one not too long ago.
Trap.
Yeah,
that was the worst.
Bad.
That was bad.
I did not like that.
That was really bad. I'd say that and The Last Airbender have been his worst ones.
Yeah. I haven't even attempted to watch that one.
Yeah.
But I like Old, and I like Knock at the Cabin. Also, that came out.
I need to see those.
Yeah, those were really interesting. I thought he was.
I heard good things.
I think he has really great ideas. Like he has like really cool concepts and the twists are like. I know he's like infamous for doing like a twist at the end of it. And the way he kind of does it, I think there are like enough interesting to be like, oh yeah, you know what, that's pretty clever. And sometimes it's hit and like really good, and sometimes it's like, that's okay, or it's like it's kind of a when you look at the outside looking in, it's kind of like, it sounds funny on paper or something like that. But yeah, I think he's just an interesting director. I really want to. I'll support his filmography. And like rewatching his movies.
Seriously, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I agree. I think there's moments there I really do preserve it. And yeah, he's an interesting one all around.
Yeah.
I'm curious about Sixth Sense. Did you see that one?
Once, yeah. A lot of movies I've only seen like one time. Yeah, he's that one. I don't know if that one hit me as strong as it did. It's probably people.
I'm
back
the same.
Then,
I hits a lot of people. That's never been one of my favorites by him. I think it's like a good Bruce Willis performance, but somehow it's like. Maybe it's like one of those once you know the twist, it doesn't really have rewatch value, as opposed to stuff like Fight Club, where it's like you know the twist, but somehow it just kind of gets better on rewatches.
True.
It's just I like it when movies that have twists are very detail oriented, where it's like you go back and it's like you're gonna catch a new detail every time building up to what made that twist happen. And same with Psycho. I'm strangely realizing that's one of the most famous twists of all time, and it's like I don't know, man. Rewatching it, I always catch new character beats every time because we're reflecting again on like Alfred Hitchcock, just such a subtle sort of director in every sense of the word about kind of just conveying just a dark outlook on life, madness in every sense. But he just made it very inviting the way he filmed it, and just kind of almost has an inspiring way of like how much you can get across in a characterization to make a rich character out of it, a very fleshed out three-dimensional person, in every sense. Looking at Psycho, I can't stop thinking about like Anthony Perkins. That's what I rewatched Psycho pretty recently too.
Oh yeah,
Anthony Perkins is one of my all-time favorite actors because that's like that performance is so ahead of its time. It really feels like it happened in the 90s or 2000s. It does not feel like the early 60s at all. The way he performs that, it's like he's dark. He's like I don't know. He's like a really unsettling kind of loner in every sense of the word. He's like he's a peeping Tom, mama's boy. Like he's a scary.
He really is.
Scary character.
And once you see what's going on there, you're just like, oh God, he really is just nuts.
Yeah, as the title says, he's just fully.
Have you seen Psycho 2?
I have not. I've not seen any of the sequels.
That's actually pretty interesting.
They're made in like the 80s, I think.
Yeah, I think he's in the first 3.
Yeah.
No, he's in all of them, I guess, right? Yeah, he's...
I'm curious to see what those are like.
I've only seen Psycho 2. I haven't seen anything past that, but...
Are they kind of like more like slasher type?
Yeah, they're still kind of slasher, but kind of like... Well, I mean, Psycho 2 at least. It's like... It's kind of a slasher, but it's like much more of like a mystery.
Yeah.
Like a... It's almost kind of framing it as like a whoudunit, you know, in a sense, because basically he gets let out and he gets to live back at his like mom's house, and but there's just like murders happening, and he has an alibi or something for the whole thing. I don't know. It's something like that where it looks like it's not him, but things are happening, and it looks like it would be from him,
Yeah.
But it's really interesting. I liked it. It was better than I was expecting, and yeah, so I need to go back and see if I can watch the rest one day. But
that sounds cool. I'm very, very curious about this.
And it's like it's older too. I think it was made in I don't know what year it was made.
It was the 80s, I think.
Yeah, I guess it was the 80s. But yeah, so it's kind of aesthetic, a weird aesthetic.
Yeah, I'm certainly
sure.
interested. Yeah, because I think I remember distinctly like the Attack on Titan's like 20 years after or something like that.
Yes,
it's
exactly.
Like, basically like 20 years later. So that's interesting.
Yes,
Very interested in going through all those sometime.
Mhm.
The same with like the Halloween movies, a lot of the slasher movies. I'm like, well, I've not actually seen a lot of these.
Yeah, they're they're fun for taking them as they are. You know, it's like if you just have fun with them. Halloween, we'll have to dedicate a whole episode to talk about that because like they've got so many movies of that series, plus like the different timelines of actually the events of those movies and things like that too. So, but yeah, that's I highly recommend. Especially around spooky season, it's great to go through the season.
I'm definitely gonna marathon those like crazy. I think because I realized this December how much I was enjoying marathoning the Christmas movies. I'm like, I'm gonna definitely make sure I really implement that this October.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so I guess we have a few minutes left here before we can wrap, I think. Do you have anything like, I don't know, any other, I think I was trying to ask you if we had other topics of like what we had our thoughts on.
Yeah. As for any more movies, games, music, or books, I was going to say maybe one more segue we could get into. It's just the influence that one battle after another has kind of had on all of this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned earlier, I mean, I can't stop thinking about it. There's a lot of like just character beats, plots, and I can't stop thinking about Sean Penn and how
Seriously.
like how cool of not cool of a role, but like good of a performance.
It's just
he's just like
it's like his best moment.
Yeah, I mean he's a fucking awful character, but like as far as like him performing, like he
feels like a
great.
cartoon. He's like a cartoon character.
Yeah.
He's so animated,
he
but
did
it's like
such a good job.
So original.
Playing him.
Seriously.
So wow. But yeah, I think that movie's gonna come back around quite a bit for me throughout the years. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I resonate that a lot. I think like the way you look at things creatively. So I think that movie's a great statement, brother. I think in all this and I think that sums about everything. I'm trying to think if there's any other.
Well, I had a question. I was thinking earlier, because sometimes I'm trying to watch a movie. And I'm always going to streaming now, but sometimes you can't find the movie on streaming.
Right.
So how important to you think is like physical media in this day and age? Because I'm
very important.
I used to be obsessed with like collecting physical media, and I'm like kind of getting the spark again. Like I want to start doing that again, but I want to like build. Kind of like how Kaiser has the wall, but I just think it's really cool. So, like, what do you think about physical media and the state of it now?
I think
it's ever going to go away. As far as them,
I do kind of fear that it's a little unpredictable right now. To be fair, I think I really look at this stuff, and I'm not sure where the direction of it's going as far as like. I think the data. I think people are going to stream more and more with age. And I think there's a real concern with owning movies and going to movie theaters alike, because I think with owning DVDs, it's almost like I think a lot of people just realize it's like maybe it's cheaper or just more accessible to stream it. It's almost technically the simpler way of accessing the movies. Mm-hmm. So I really don't know what's going to happen with all that. It does get me a little anxious. Strangely,
I don't want it to be like an antique thing. Like where it's
I don't either.
Yeah,
it's a little too good. I think it'd be good. Yeah, that inspires me to kind of rebuild my collection better too. Honestly, because I've always had my collection. I used to be very strict about it growing up. And
me too.
I think I got a little lazy with it. I don't know. I never really picked back up on like making it that organized.
Yeah, me too.
The movies just are just a bunch of data in my head, but that's like a down to earth way of making it inviting. Yeah. I think more down to earth.
Oh, it's fun because I'm like right now I'm like showing Augie the hobby of having a movie collection.
Yeah,
because he's watching movies now. And so I gave him a stack of movies from my my collection that I thought he could that I would be comfortable him watching, and that he would maybe be interested in watching. And they're all in his room, and he's like looking through them, and he's putting them in the the Blu-ray player or the PlayStation or whatever. But he watched E.T. He loves that one now.
Great.
He's been watching that.
He was interactive with what was it we were watching just recently?
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future, brother. Oh, that was one of the best movies I've ever had. I've seen that. That's one of the most movies I've ever rewatched also, and I'm like, that was
he was really
amazing.
into it for a minute.
Yeah, I was loving that. I loved how into it he was. He was just pointing out things like, oh, dude, he was clearly into it. What was going on? This is awesome.
That's what I did a couple nights ago, where I was just like, he was like wanting to play in his room or something, and I was like, well, I'm gonna go out here and watch a movie. If you want to come out here, let me know. And he comes running out. He's like, what movie are you gonna watch? And I was like, all right. And then so I just picked a couple of movies that I thought maybe he'd be interested in watching. I think I picked Zootopia and Minecraft, and I was like, you want to watch this or this? And he was like, Minecraft. And I was like, all right, let's put it on. And he watched the whole thing, and I was just like, wow, that's just so cool. So,
man.
but I want to start like letting him see my whole movie collection, and I can teach him about
Dude.
movies just like present, like just how I did. Like, look here, check this out, man.
Yeah, bro. That'd be super
Yeah.
cool, man. Maybe you could get a big shelf and try to get compile every single one you own, and just
Yeah.
maybe put in whatever order. Like you can
Well,
either go alphabetical or by director, whatever.
I normally-
resonates.
Well, I have a lot of movies out here that I'm about to start bringing upstairs to put in the room. But I normally organize them by. I was really strict when I was a kid too. Like I was really strict about like having, my comedy section broken up by actors.
Yep, I would do that
I was
too.
doing like superhero movies. I was doing I think just random movies I thought were my favorites, or I don't know, just like I was just kind of like I had like my own organization. But now I'm kind of just like I'll compile things together and whatnot and kind of bundle into themes or whatever, or sometimes directors. So like last time I did it, I have a bunch of steelbooks, so I did all my steelbooks first because I think steelbooks look really cool and I want them to be like displayed all together.
Yeah.
And then I kind of go for like I did my horror section first after that. So any horror film would go into that, and in those that gets organized by its like series or director or something like that. But yeah, then I just kind of go through it like that, where I'll do like sci-fi monster films and like Alien stuff like that. I have like my action through. I have like kind of like my more artsy director kind of films like that, or my all-time favorite that really kind of cinematic experiences. I have like those in the section. I do have still all my Marvel and DC movies all together and things like that. So
I love that.
yeah, but I need to put it all back together, and I need to get a
Understand.
second shelf because now I have more movies than my shelf can hold.
Yeah,
so.
dude. Yeah. You can find those usually pretty cheap at a store.
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah, bro. I need to get. Yeah, inspire me to want to do the same. Honestly,
Yeah.
that'd be nice.
it's cool to like look at
must
what you
have a
got
set.
and log it. I like just to see like I don't know.
Yeah.
But I do. I think it's cool to still collect them. I just need to. Really, the reality is like the time and money to spend, collecting them.
Right. Yeah. That
But
could be the
McKay's,
best
last few times I went to McKay's, I was really enjoying buying some movies there. I was like, they're
Dude.
still kind of relatively cheap.
They
So,
are. No,
yeah.
dude, I think McKay's is the best place to go shopping for. I've been going
Yeah.
there quite a bit lately also with the gaming spree
Yeah.
I'm on. So I really love it. I've been looking at their movie stuff. Oh, man, it's still cheap as ever. It's like,
Yeah.
I guess some of the best stuff ever. And like the $2 bin. I mean,
I
it's
know.
range of, like, so, like Departed, Dark Knight. I always see that stuff for like so cheap.
I
It's
know, yeah.
just surreal,
I know,
man.
I got like 5 movies for like $8 there.
Yeah,
Or,
it's like, how
like,
can you go anywhere else after
Uh-huh.
that place? I mean, that place is the best as far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned for collecting stuff.
So
They got the full range
it's just
of
a
all the.
madhouse in there most of the
It
time.
is a madhouse. Yeah, it's a lot going
It
into
used to be
everything.
kind of chill a little bit. Not it was still busy, but like
Yeah, it's not exactly relaxed.
yeah,
Yeah.
it just feels very cluttered, like kind
Somehow
of shoulder to shoulder. A little
It
bit.
does a
Yeah.
little bit. Yeah, I agree with that. There's a little anxiety inducing
Yeah,
in there, but I
yeah.
do love going there all the
I don't know
same.
why I feel like I'm in such a hurry when I'm in there.
I'm the same.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then, yeah, I'm on it. Yeah, I'm the same. I've gotten that same way when I'm in there. I'm like, if I stay too long, which I kind of did one time, it's like, wow, I somehow kind of want to. I'm ready to move on.
Yeah,
kinda.
yeah.
I started shopping for the books a little bit. I couldn't really find any of the books I was wanting, like this Gravity's
Right.
Rainbow, for example.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'll probably order that online. That's what I did
Yeah.
with Halo. Also, I got those about hitting the mail, the
Awesome.
Halo games.
Oh
so
yeah, right
I
on,
cannot
dude.
wait to get
I
into
can't
that.
wait to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, bro,
so.
that and Red Dead. Those games seriously need deep dive analysis from my end. I've just simply not given those games nearly enough deep dive analysis.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to finally correct that.
Yeah, hey, well, I'm sure by the time we record again, you'll have a lot more to say.
That's
about
the
it,
plan, brother. We'll be there as far as the rotation's accurate, but we'll get there.
So. Absolutely. All right. Well, I think that's pretty good. Puts us in a good spot here.
I think so too.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Real to
Thank you,
Real,
guys.
and yeah, check us out. And Blake, I will see you on the next one here.
Yes, sir, August. Sounds great.
Let's go hang out for a little bit.
Let's do it. Sounds
All right.
like a plan, brother.
See you.